Hello and welcome back to Suspended Animation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and this is Avenue 5, Season 1, Episode 2. And they're going to shoot, and oh God, now I just blanked on the title, which is, and then he's going to shoot off, is what it is. Sorry about that. I just blanked on the title because, yeah, I'll get into it in a little bit here. So let me take care of a little bit of business first, and then I'll get into this. Like, share, and subscribe if you like what you see here. Also, if you're on the fence about subscribing, wait until the very end of the video. You're going to see a video pop up here. Basically, what YouTube does takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one video in my vast video library and pops it up there for you. Up here is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off. That's what's going to go up there. If you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below as well. And it's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule as Penn has put up there in the chat. Excuse me. I change it out once a week, every Monday. So tomorrow will be changed out. And I also post it on my Facebook page. And speaking of Facebook, there's a Facebook group page, which you guys can post stuff in and talk amongst yourselves. There is a Twitter and Instagram and a Patreon page. No tier set up as of yet, but there will be. So let's get to this, shall we? Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. So, second episode in. And the first episode, I was being a little bit generous on things. A lot of people were saying it's crap. I've been reading people's, reviews after I did mine and everything. And, a lot of people have been fairly unkind. It's mainly, it's 70-30, 70% people saying it's crap. 30% of the people going, well, it might get better. I was in that 30% going, it might get better. But I think that, it might not, to tell you the truth. The writing on this is kind of tone deaf in the comedy, is what's going on. At one point, one of the characters, so Iris basically says that all music is bad. And it's not that all music is bad, it's that some people are fucking tone deaf. And that is what happened with the writers of this show. I think they're a little bit on the tone deaf side. They want to do dark comedy, but they're not hitting the right buttons, if you will. It's not very British, Joe Greer. I mean, British know how to do dark comedy very, very well. And they're trying to, it looks like they're kind of stuck if they wanted to do a comedy or if they wanted to do a drama. And they're sticking to the 30-minute format as well, which I think is really hurting them. It's constraining them and not allowing them to to branch out, to explore things. So they're having to hurry through some set pieces instead of letting it grow a little bit. And that's what's happening. Penn Farm Girl says doesn't suck, but I think what we've seen, we're getting for the entire series. I'll still give it the 4 episodes. Yeah, I'm still going to give it the 4 episodes. But I'm not holding out any hope for it, to tell you the truth. And the thing is, it's like all these people, and you really kind of don't like them, any of them at all. Even the people that are on the ground, that are back on Earth and everything, you really don't like them either. And I haven't found one redeeming character out of this. Although I have to admit, I am liking the character that I'm kind of rooting for the most is Zach Wood's character, Matt, who is the concierge, if you will, the nihilist, who is just fucking insane. Yes, he is playing the same character he was playing on Silicon Valley. It's the exact same character, just transported into space. But that's what he does best. And he had one of the best lines, by the way, tonight, where that pregnant pause was in its 3rd trimester. And I'm very much going to steal that fucking line because that was just brilliant. Yeah, that pregnant pause was in its 3rd trimester. He had another line in there too that I forgot, but the pregnant pause, 3rd trimester, wins out handily out of all the lines that were said there. And yeah, granted, okay, so they did get a little bit of science in there too. If you shoot something heavy out of a ship and you have a large enough ship that has a anything that's large enough is going to have a gravitational pull to it. So you have a ship that size and you're shooting out a body in a heavy coffin and you're not giving it enough propellant to shoot it away from the ship, it's going to orbit your ship, is what's going to happen. If you look at the very first season of Babylon 5, someone murders another crew member or another passenger and shoves them out the airlock. How do they find the body? It's orbiting Babylon 5 because that's what bodies tend to do. And yeah, so I mean, they have a little bit of science in there, but not a lot. And of course, we have another guy now who was Billy's rival in the NASA internship, and he thinks he can solve this problem of getting them home faster, which more than likely he won't be able to. And I'm getting tired of the passenger. I can't remember her name now. Is it Karen? Karen. Oh my god, I fucking hate Karen. Like with a passion. I want someone to shove her out an airlock now at this point. It's 2 episodes in and I'm really just wanting her to die. I really do. Ah, yeah. So, Joker says I prefer the HBO anthology series, Room 104, different guest stars. Yeah. Well, I'm not talking about that one, Joker. Sorry. Um, yeah, this one is yeah, the meddling one. Exactly, Jody. The one who's been grabbing the microphone and wearing heels and everything. And um yeah, it wants to be a smart comedy and it's not. It also wants to be a dark comedy and it's not. Then it wants to be a kind of a dramedy and it's not. It this one needed a few more a few dozen passes through the old Edomatic, to edit out some shit until they ironed some stuff out and actually had this looking a little bit better than what it looks like now. And again, like I said, the runtime on this is what's killing it. The 30 minutes is not allowing enough story to build up, and they're just sticking on one little item, and it's not funny, quite honestly. It's a one and done. The whole orbiting thing, the people dying and then shoving them out the airlock. And you could tell what was going to happen. I mean, you knew it was going to happen, and yeah. So Jody says, "Yeah, I can't seem to pick a lane. Do you think they went with maybe first drafts? No, I don't think they went with first drafts for the script. I think there was just too many chefs in the kitchen, one, and then everyone had their noses up each other's asses, going, that's a great idea. That's great. That sounds awesome." Instead of actually looking at it objectively and saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, pump the brakes a little bit. How do we want this to sound? What kind of tone do we want to set with this? Where are we going with this?" kind of thing. Yeah, they ended abruptly again, and again, that's because of the time constraint here. They're sticking to the 30 minutes, and they're trying to be edgy with that ending. They're trying to create they're trying to create an atmosphere, if you will. They're trying to create a trend in a sitcom is what they're doing. I can see what they're doing, what they were thinking of, and they being the guy who created Veep, who also created this show. He wants to have a presence or a calling card, if you will, and it's not doing it. Quite honestly, it's actually more annoying than anything else. And yeah, it's just not working. Jody says, "Yeah, the meddling pastor is annoying, but the wife who cheated on her husband was kind of okay. Not the best character, but she's not nearly as annoying as them." Honestly, the wife and husband thing, they need to fucking go and disappear. They're not helping the story at all, and it's not. I don't see their purpose in this story. Quite honestly, it's not funny. One, other than I think she's related to. is her sister-in-law Zav the one who is down at down at Judd who's working there, or because she called her directly, and I don't know if that it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And they keep throwing out these little tidbits of information of stuff that's happened in the future, like Google is or Google's gone. The Pacific Ocean went toxic. There are no more cattle. Things like that. They're just kind of tossed aside. And I'm finding that a lot more interesting than the actual story that's happening because the story is kind of boring. Yeah. And that's the other thing. Yeah. How many supplies do you have? uh if they talked about cutting off oxygen to people, do they have recyclers, all that kind of stuff. I mean, these are kind of common sense questions that start coming up now at this point. I know it's supposed to be a comedy, but is it a comedy at this point, because you're trying to blend some science into it as well, and physics. And again, do you want to be a dramedy? Do you want to be a dark comedy? Do you want to be a full on out comedy? What is it? What do you want to do with this thing? And it's not working. Um, yeah. So, and it seems like, and granted, yes, this guy Judd, hired only one person who actually knows what the fuck's going on in the entire ship, and sticks him in the engineering crew, and then says, "Okay, you're it." They don't have anybody else as a backup other than Billy. And while Billy's smart, she obviously wasn't as smart as Joe, who doesn't know everything that what was doing or going on. So yeah, there's a couple of quite a few inconsistencies in this show. Yeah. Jody says, wouldn't mind them blending in actual science if it helps make the comedy better. But yeah, it isn't quite working for them so far. Yeah, it's not. The thing about ensemble cast is every character has to serve a purpose of the story. So far, it feels like the other characters aren't there to serve a particular purpose. Yeah, I agree with you. Um, they're there to be antagonistic. They are there to be annoying. I understand that. I honestly didn't watch Veep. It's not something I'm interested in. I'm not interested in political comedy or anything like that, other than Brain Dead, which wasn't really political comedy. It was more sci-fi than anything else. Um, and yeah, I don't know if this was indicative of the humor of Veep. Then wow, I don't know how that show stayed on as long as it did. Obviously, it's not the same. So who knows? Sorry, I'm just looking at little dog, seeing what she's doing over there. She was doing something weird for a second. So we'll see what happens next week. Um, it looks like, the captain and Susan make an alliance and no one really cares. Yeah. And that's the other thing too, is everyone's, uh, basically bagging on the captain, who of course Judd was the one that hired him to begin with, for not being an actual captain. They're just going, "Oh, you're just a cosplayer essentially." And it's like, well, yeah, that's what you guys put into place. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm just not digging it now at this point. Second episode in, and it's already fallen. I mean, it's fallen apart at the seams, going off the rails, dumpster fire, with no fire extinguisher nearby, whatever other analogy you want to use at this point. So we'll see how the third episode goes. But something's got to give here. Something needs to, the ship needs to be righted somehow, uh, if you want to use that analogy, because right now they're in, Poseidon mode at this point. Yeah. Jody says Veep had its moments, but the show got boring after a while. That's what I kind of figured. If this writing is just as indicative of Veep, then yeah, I'm kind of not surprised. So, with that said, where am I at on time? I'm like 15 minutes in. Jeez. And I've already torn apart. I've torn in a new asshole, is what I've done. What else do I have going on this week? Tomorrow is going to be Is It Worth My Time? Godzilla King of the Monsters. Yes, that movie. I'm going to talk about that. Tuesday is going to be The Better Show, Project Blue Book, Season 2, Episode 2. Much better show. Wednesday and Thursday, I'm going to be off. Friday is going to be the excellent Harley Quinn. If you haven't watched Harley Quinn, go and watch it. It's on DC Universe. Saturday is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any other genre stuff you guys want to talk about and talk about it. And Sunday, of course, is going to be back around to Avenue 5. So there we go. Yeah. So Jody says science can be used to great comedic effect if it's written well, but it's implied having a working knowledge of science, so research and stuff. Actually, you can do science comedy right. Red Dwarf is one of them. What else is there that's out there? I was actually thinking about this before I came on. This seems almost kind of like it wanted to be Red Dwarfish in a way. Yes, Galaxy Quest is good. Future Man is excellent. Yeah. Hey, Apple Crow. um, Ice Pirates. I don't know if anyone remembers that 80s movie Ice Pirates. I mean, it's almost 40 years old now. And that was a horrible fucking movie when it came out. I mean, a horrible fucking movie. But yes, Space Herpes, exactly. As a kid, everyone loved it because it was really dumb and stupid. But that's kind of what they seem to be channeling in a way. It just, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know. I've been watching way too much TV lately, and I'm starting to see, the way writers are writing, groups of writers are writing. It's almost kind of like, that whole theory about having a million monkeys uh, jamming around on typewriters, and you're eventually going to get War and Peace or, A Tale of Two Cities come out of it, out of the million monkeys. And that's pretty much what we're getting now with a whole bunch of writers jammed into a room working on these series nonstop. So yeah, Bill and Ted though is sci-fi comedy, but the thing is, that wasn't what they were, focused on. They weren't focused on the science of it. They were just saying time travel with two stoners who don't know anything. That works. And Back to the Future, actually, when they did try to involve some science in it in part 2, people were just like, I don't understand. Burn it, pitchforks and torches. And yeah, and all Doc Brown did was he just flipped around a chalkboard and said, it's an alternate timeline. That's all it is. And people were like, we don't like it. Ah! Oh my God. Yeah. So yeah, there is that as well. Anyway, enough pitchforks and torches. That's what the villagers are for. Old audience yells at good writing. Yeah, I know. I know, Apple Crow. It's not even the old audience. It's just audience yells at good writing because they don't understand it. I'm not reading that. So, with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the night because you've heard enough from me lighting this thing on fire with my own, you know, torch that I have and pitchforks. So, I'm going to let you guys go. I will see you tomorrow for Is It Worth My Time? Godzilla King of the Monsters. There's my Godzilla impression for you. Thank you, everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you want to know when I'm be on again next, take a look at the bell, or yeah, you can hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of them actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule up there. It's also up on my Facebook page. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram. I also have a Patreon page, but I have no tiers set up as of yet, but I will at some point in time. So, with that, thank you, everyone. Wow. think something just fell in the other room. I'll have to take a look. Thank you, everyone. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may be stuck in some really fucking bad writing aboard a spaceship with some really, really dumb and annoying people. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow night for Godzilla. Good night, everybody. Thanks again.